And James Gunn was saying that Batman Brave and the Bold um already has Robin in it, right?
Yeah. So I think that one actually is Damian.
Oh, that one's Damian. So he
Yeah.
has Damian already?
I think so, yeah. Because I think James Gunn said that this was going to be a story between him and his son.
Okay. I'm okay with Damian because honestly, if it did start off now that we're kind of on the subject, if it did start off as Dick Grayson, we would have had to wait some years for Damian.
Yeah. I'm kind of glad it's also Damian, but I also hope that this means that we get I was gonna reword it really bad. I was gonna say this probably means we're gonna get some good dick, but
Yeah, what the fuck?
Oh man, okay. I think that this is a good chance to bring in a good story for Nightwing.
Yeah.
And also Red Hood, and also Tim Drake's Red Robin, or whoever he is at this point,
and Barbara Gordon,
Barbara Gordon's story, or whatever, whether she's taking handicap parkings or not.
I mean, if they're already to that point where it's like the Bat family, basically, that's also fine too, because I just think certain things need to have already been sped up already, because a lot of things are taking too much time. All right, and DC has already technically wasted too much time, and the thing about it is, DC fans are stuck with Marvel content because there's not enough DC content. There's only so many animated movies. There's only so many times you can rewatch all the Batman animated shows and the Justice League Unlimited and stuff like that. Like, DC doesn't have enough content to occupy that crowd of people. But with the new universe starting, they can actually do that.
Yeah, and they could pull in a wider audience, should the movies be successful and the universe be successful. Because I think when Marvel started, it was just Marvel fans. The first phase was just Marvel fans, but it brought in a wider audience because all those stories were good. You know what I mean? And all those movies were for pretty good superhero movies, and it gave superhero movies a better look, because a lot of the especially for Marvel, a lot of the movies were kind of really bad in a way. Like, the only good movies we had from Marvel in general were just Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And then we didn't have a good Hulk movie.
Daredevil.
Blade was corny. Yeah. Ghost Rider was bad. All these other old films, Daredevil, Elektra, they were just, they didn't give superhero movies a good look.
They were trying to be very realistic. They were trying to have them be very grounded. How Christopher Nolan did Dark Knight, as if it was if Batman was in the real world, because he didn't make him overly jacked or.
That's also another good franchise to point out, because I'm sure, Batman was a big character anyways, especially with the 89 Keaton Batman and Adam West. So it's DC didn't have that big of a problem having a wide audience, because everybody knows, their top two characters is just Superman and Batman. So when the Dark Knight came in, it also brought a lot of people that love, good movies. If you look at the Dark Knight trilogy, they don't even feel like superhero movies. They don't feel like Batman movies.
Yeah.
But they are Batman stories, and they are probably some of the best written superhero movies, to date. So
like I said, Christopher Nolan made the Batman movies if he was real.
Yeah.
And that's what I feel like Marvel was doing during the mid to early 2000s.
Kind of, yeah, but they were also very campy too, with overused stunts and stuff, like backflips off a wall and shit, or slow-mo things, or
CGI wasn't really good back in those days. It's not like it is now.
From 2000 to 2010, it's they always loved using that fucking overcast filter on their movies where like it always looked like it was fucking raining outside.
Yeah. And
I hated that shit.
It was really corny. I mean, it was innovative at the time.
Everything just looks blue.
It was
a blue light filter.
Terrible. But back on the subject of Blue Beetle,
mm-hmm.
We discussed a little bit about end credits, right? And I will say I was one of those people that was on the thing of, okay, there's going to be a big end credit that kind of starts giving us a little bit more of what's inside James Gunn's universe. But it ended up not doing any of that. And I saw this thing on Screen Rant where they kind of talked about, in the comments, people were kind of talking about, hey, I think it's a good thing that they didn't really show anything at all because they don't want to leave anybody confused as to where does Blue Beetle stand. Does he stand with the Henry Cavill and Ben Affleck universe, or does he stand with the James Gunn universe? And if he's with the James Gunn universe, it's easy to make him that way because there's no end credit showing Superman. There's no end credit showing Batman, like showing who's playing them.
I think it's probably I feel like it's a business strategy that they chose to do. I feel like there was a end credit scene, and they cut it and they put in that little cartoon thing for shits and giggles.
I hated that, but it needed to happen.
Yeah, I think it was a business move. As far as if this movie does not do well, we don't need to make it part of our universe. This is not going to be the start of the DCU. We're not going to start off, bad.
That's probably why James Gunn said what he said, where he was like, Superman is the first one. But since Blue Beetle, at least based off audience and critics reviewing the film, is doing great, he can easily make it canon to his universe.
Yeah.
And I kind of like that.
I like when there's already an established universe as far as, for DC, because we don't need to go through the whole origin for each hero and then team up and all that. We've seen that with Marvel. They tried it with the DCU. It didn't work out. I'm not saying origin stories aren't important and they're not always,
for certain characters,
it's something fresh to not do it this time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like in the future, obviously, the DC is going to be rebooted again, and Marvel's going to be rebooted again.
Yeah.
So like we're going to see these stories again. Well, I don't know if we are, but
probably be dead. The only origin story, what's crazy is that in 2099, in real life, will the 2099 Spider-Man be the main timeline Spider-Man? Because now it'll be the year 2099. Isn't that kind of crazy? Like, there's no more Peter Parker. Like,
that's if like the MCU is still alive at that point.
Yeah, that is true. But let's think about it like this: for as long as we are alive,
that's like 70 years,
right? Because we're in 2023.
That's 76 years.
It's probably like 77 years. No, that's 77 years. Yeah, or 76. Yeah,
76 years.
2099.
Yeah.
So it's there's probably there's gonna be some tip out there.
I'm 26. I'll be 82.
I'll be
82 or 92.
No, you'll be like 102. 1996, right? Is you or 97?
97.
You're 1997 to 2099.
I'll be 98.
You'll be 98 if you make it to 98.
Ew, I'm gonna be a crinkled fucking scrotum.
Right. I'm gonna be 97.
Yeah, we're not gonna be. I'm just gonna say we're not gonna be allowed to see any of that.
We're probably gonna be deaf,
blind, dumber.
Dumber.
Yeah,
just like we're already dumb.
Dumb and dumber.
This video is brought to you by CPR Ninjas. If you live in the Central Florida area, then this is a place for you to get CPR certified. CPR Ninjas provides courses in accordance with the American Heart Association 2015 guidelines with AHA certified instructors. At CPR Ninjas, their passion is to provide you with knowledge and skills needed to perform high-quality CPR with accuracy and precision. Javon and Lysandra Washington have been working in the healthcare industry since the mid-1990s and share 35 plus years combined in healthcare.
Javon and Lysandra are both registered nurses with diverse backgrounds, which include home care, hospital care, acute care, wound care, hospice care, pediatrics, research, and higher learning education. Together, they share a passion to reach the community, provide education that will save lives, and improve quality of life. As American Health Association instructors, they also share the same vision with the AHA to building a healthier tomorrow.
If you want to get started on a course today, go ahead and email Javon at cprninjas.com, or if you want to call, it's 813-603-6898. Now back to our